Have you ever looked up at the sky and wished for a miracle? What if that miracle wasn't just rain or sunshine, but treasure? Imagine one ordinary morning, the clouds part not for the sun, but for a shower of shimmering gold and sparkling diamonds. This is what happened in a small, quiet village, nestled far from the hustle and bustle of the world. At first it was just a gentle glint, a single sapphire catching the light. Then another, a ruby, a cascade of pearls. Soon, the entire sky was weeping jewels. Necklaces, rings, and bracelets of every kind rained down, blanketing the fields and rooftops in a dazzling spectacle. It was a sight beyond anyone's wildest dreams. The villagers, initially frozen in disbelief, slowly emerged from their homes. A child's laughter broke the silence as he caught a glittering emerald in his small hands. It was real. A wave of euphoria swept through the crowd. People thought it was a blessing from the heavens, a gift from the gods for their simple, hard-working lives. Cries of joy echoed through the streets as they rushed out with baskets, bowls, and outstretched arms, their faces turned upward in pure elation. The air, once filled with the scent of morning dew, now smelled of gold and fortune. The endless rain of treasure seemed to promise a future free from hardship, a life of unimaginable wealth for everyone. It was a day of celebration, a day the world had seemingly tilted in their favor. But as the sun climbed higher, casting a brilliant glare on the growing mounds of treasure, a subtle shift began to occur. The initial joy, the shared sense of wonder, started to curdle into something else. The first sign was a hurried glance, a possessive tightening of a grip on a jeweled tiara. Then a shove. A neighbor who had shared bread just yesterday now saw a rival. The laughter of children was replaced by the frantic clamor of adults, their eyes wide with a feverish light. The spirit of community vanished, replaced by an insatiable hunger for more. "This pile is mine!" one would shout, while another secretly filled a cart under the cover of the chaos. The streets, once a place of friendly greetings, became a battleground of greed. No one wanted to share. Everyone wanted it all. The blessing was beginning to show its darker side. Each falling gem, once a symbol of hope, now fueled the growing fire of avarice that threatened to consume the entire village. Just as the greed reached its peak, the nature of the celestial downpour began to change. What was once a gentle, magical shower became menacing. The jewelry grew heavier, the edges sharper. A beautiful golden locket falling from the sky now felt like a stone. A diamond necklace, once delicate, now struck the ground with the force of a weapon. The sky, which had been a brilliant blue, darkened to a stormy gray. The rain of jewels turned into a hailstorm of treasure, falling faster and harder, a relentless, punishing barrage. Panic erupted. People scrambled for cover, shielding their heads from the dangerous projectiles. Cries of pain replaced the shouts of greed as villagers were struck and injured. The treasure they had coveted moments before was now a threat to their very lives. The beautiful dream had twisted into a terrifying nightmare. What once felt like a gift now felt like a curse, a punishment for their selfish desires. The village was plunged into chaos, trapped under a sky raining beautiful, deadly riches. Amidst the fear and confusion, a single voice of reason cut through the noise. An old, wise elder, who had watched the day unfold with a heavy heart, stepped into the center of the storm. He stood firm as sharp-edged gems rained down around him, his presence commanding a sudden, fragile silence. "Stop!" he cried, his voice resonating with an authority that years of wisdom had earned him. "Look at what this has done to us. This treasure is worthless if it costs us our peace, our kindness, our very souls." His words hung in the air, a stark and simple truth. One by one, the villagers lowered their arms. They looked at each other, seeing not rivals, but their friends, their family, their neighbors, bruised and frightened. In a collective moment of clarity, they let go. Hands opened, letting necklaces and rings fall back to the glittering heaps on the ground. As the last person dropped their selfish hoard, the storm began to subside. The dark clouds parted, and the violent rain of jewels softened to a gentle stop. The land was covered in rivers of treasure, more beautiful than ever, but the villagers turned their backs on it. They walked away together, helping the injured, their hands empty of gold, but their hearts full of a rediscovered unity. For they had learned a powerful lesson. Greed only brings storms, but it is unity that brings peace. Thank you so much for watching. If this story made you think, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Until next time, stay thoughtful.